Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. With the delineation of electoral units in Warri already proving a significant source of headache for the major ethnic groups in Delta State, especially between the Itsekiris and Ijaws, we are now going to take a little journey back into time for some historical perspectives on Warri Township's colonial history, the relationship between the ethnic components of the city, and how the prevailing social harmony there can be maintained without undue political interference from outside. For a quick chat, we are now being joined by Dr. Ejiro Imuere, a medical doctor, historian, and convener, Wado City Advocacy. Good morning and welcome to the show, Doctor.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Morning to you all. Morning, viewers.
Well, you know, I have to ask you again, very importantly, what do you have in this envelope for us?
Yeah, people have been coming here, they'll be telling documents about the delineation, and
May I
people, these are the Supreme Court judgment has been reported as part of Nigerian law reports.
Yes.
So it's already an authority to be cited. INEC simply went to carry out an assignment given to it by the Supreme Court.
Yes.
So it's not something somebody says.
That's the December 2022.
Yeah, it's not somebody can say it's dead on arrival, it cannot be done or not. I said the person saying that we should disobey the Supreme Court.
People, so he was talking about the outcome, not the process.
Good. Now, if you don't know the process, for example, why did INEC choose that process? It means the previous process was flawed. For the Supreme Court to say, go back and go and delineate the whole of the Warri Federal constituency. This is Nigeria, with very many constituencies. People have been aggrieved. I've come here before, and I said the problem of Warri is based on colonialism, where the British would bring Ijaws together, put Urhobos together, Ijaws together, and call the settlement Warri, and give them one overlord called the Olu of Warri as at that time. And with time, people begin to agitate. It's all over the place. Even in Kwara State, the Afonja are saying no. In Tafawa Balewa local government, the Bauchi State are saying no, we are not Hausa Fulani. Give us our own. That's what is happening. Ijaws are indigenous, Urhobos are indigenous, Itsekiris are indigenous.
To Warri.
To Warri. It has been like that. In fact, when the Olu of Warri wanted to crown himself Olu of Warri, 1936, the British stopped him. The British replied, they are indigenous Ijaws and Urhobos in that province. We can't give you the title Olu of Warri. We crown you Olu of Itsekiri. And the Olu replied, but Warri is a corruption of the word Imuere. Call him Warri. He said, in that case, we crown you as Olu of Imuere, not Olu of Warri, because to us, Warri means another thing. Now, that will be another time. Let's go straight so that we don't, the problem with this delineation. The other state was created on the 27th of August, 1991. And in preparation, they had to do delineation. From the historical perspective I've read, delineation should be three. One should be national or statutory, that is by law. The other one is INEC discretion, and then the other one is court ordered. Now, it means that since these three tribes are trying to dominate one another, any favor done to one another will definitely rigmarole, except you have to create a balance. The problem today is that a balance has not been created. Now, in the first delineation, which was done in 1992, and it came into effect in 2002 because the military overthrow of Abacha and the annulment of U12 scuttled the process. So I will call it the 2002, the 1999 delineation, instead of, but actually it was done in 1992, but I'll call it 1999 delineation because that's when it came into effect. In Warri South local government, the Urhobos are the majority. The Urhobos were given just 2 wards, and the Itsekiris were given 8 wards. Now, the Ijaws, who are also present as a minority in Warri South, were completely excluded in that delineation. Meanwhile, the 1929 census shows that the Ijaws of Ogbijo are in Warri Township, Warri South. In fact, they settled around the Warri GROA, where some of the people were evicted to build the Warri Township. I refer to Pretoria's report, British intelligence report of 1929. In the 1963 census, they were also captured. In the 1991 census, they were captured. Then how come you are doing a delineation in 1990 for an election in 1999? You completely remove the Ijaws and said they are not present in Warri South, that they should go to Warri Southwest. And then how come the Urhobos, who are majority in Warri South, became 2 wards, and then the Itsekiri were given 8 wards. The Urhobos protested. The Ijaws also protested. But this time, they protested to INEC. And INEC responded. INEC came to the field again. And after seeing the whole situation, INEC downgraded the Ijaws 8 to 6, upgraded the Urhobos 2 to 6 wards, balancing the making 60. They also excluded the Ijaws from Warri South local government. So you see that in the first delineation, I call it pro-Itsekiri delineation. In the second delineation, I call it pro-Urhobo delineation. The Ijaws in this case felt that they were cheated. And the Ijaws, having that INEC did not listen to them, decided to go to court. And they pursued the matter.
They just went to court.
They just went to court. They pursued the matter down to Supreme Court. And they presented facts before the Supreme Court that, look, we exist in Warri South local government. This delineation is wrong. Look at the 1929 census. We are there.
They didn't claim ownership. They just said we also have numbers. But it's an Itsekiri land.
Delineation is about existing population, not about ownership. But even in terms of ownership, they just are owners of their land. Can a Itsekiri man come here that he sells land to people in Warri Township? I will come to that. I don't want us to distract. When it comes to ownership, we'll track this matter here and today. Because the government will not be crazy to go and gazette kings for people who are not owners of their land. There are 3 kings in Warri Township. The first one is the Olu of Warri, as we all know. The second one is Oviofak-Bara Warri. By our tradition, since I mentioned it, I must greet him. Ataneru, Wosuto. The other one is the Oroso of Okerorobo. Abadi, Uzi, Ororu, Ajue, Wosuto. I must greet them traditionally. They'll be there. The government of the government.
You didn't greet Olu of Warri?
Yeah, I'm not an Itsekiri person. I came here on behalf of the Urhobo nation.
Okay.
But you greeted the Ijaws.
He is the Olu of the Itsekiri people, the Imuere people. We don't recognize him as the Olu of Warri. We'll come to that. I don't want to discuss the delineation process. I don't understand the Itsekiri language. I don't know how to speak Itsekiri. So why should I greet him? How would I greet him?
He's okay.
Yeah,
Can you do this for us? Can you
okay.
give us, I feel the major issue here is context. And
Yeah.
you've said a lot. Let's start with this.
Okay.
Historical context, defending what you're saying. Okay. You've said a few things that one, it's not Olu of Warri, it's Olu of Itsekiri. Why do you say this? 2, you've said the Ijaws are... Hold on. Let him explain what he's saying. Why do you say what you're saying? What's your historical background towards saying, because that's a very
except you will lengthen my time, because it's going to the reason why I came here. You understand that? The reason why I came here, I don't want to scuttle, because people are becoming here blackmailing INEC and blaming the Supreme Court. Now, the reason why he is not the Olu of Warri, because Warri is a political entity. It's not a traditional entity.
I have to come in here now and actually correct you, because you are
Just,
a historian. Just
but let him explain.
No,
I need to.
Kashi, can I? Let me land on my point.
Okay.
The Warri kingdom is a 15th century. It started. The first Olu of Warri is from the 15th century. It's not from the first. It's not the British.
Did he call his kingdom Warri Kingdom?
I'm saying the first.
Did he call that kingdom? He said Imuere. And today, any of Zaria have changed his name for any of Zaza.
1 second, please.
We just have to, because we have to.
Let him just explain.
But I also have to.
I understand.
You cannot allow something
when you
just
come here,
be said without a rebuttal.
But he hasn't even said something for us to rebut. So let him say that.
I brought up a point, and I would like.
Wait.
You get where I'm coming
I
from?
get your point. So
Yeah.
you will
Let him answer
answer, but
his
take a
question.
short time, because we are concerned more
Briefly
with
respond
INEC
to
and
your
Delineation, for
delineation.
God's sake.
Delineation.
Briefly, and then we can proceed.
Good. Whatever kingdom Guinea were founded, as the Supreme Court said in the versus Okumagba, did not extend to Warri Township. He said he got to Ijaws, where he lived and died. That was why the Supreme Court ruled against the Itsekiris in the Idudu versus Okumagba case. And if Warri is the corruption of the word Imuere, then the accurate title is Olu of Imuere. It means he's ruling over a corrupted name. The Emir of Zaria has changed his kingdom to Emir of Zaza. He says Zaria is not, is the English pronunciation. I'm Emir of Zaza. So Warri is a British term. And the British said to us, Warri does not mean Ode Itsekiri. It means a province, a district, and a local government. So you are not the Olu of Warri in that sense. So that is why we said, if he wants to say Warri is the corruption of the word Imuere, Olu of Imuere, that's okay.
Okay, that's your context.
This is I think that,
Let's move on to
Exactly. Let's move to the delineation.
Now, now, let me continue.
Okay.
Good. Now, so, in the...
What criteria
Good.
did INEC use?
I'm coming. The criteria is here. I will give it to you. But let me explain, because INEC hands were tied by the decisions of the Supreme Court. INEC could not use the voters register again because the Supreme Court said they were fraudulent.
Okay.
Okay, now let me explain.
Yeah.
A voters register that did not capture the Ogbijo people as people resident in Warri South, whereas National Population Commission figures said they are there. And previous voters register of 1963, 1983, 1979 shows that voters register is defective. Warri Southwest. The National Population Commission says the figure for Warri Southwest is 116,638. Meanwhile, their voters register is 145,000. It means the voting population is more than the entire population. Supreme Court said defective. Warri North, 4 units, 4 wards, have just 1 voting point. 1. It means only 1 ward was voting in that place. The rest 3 were being used to rig election. In fact, these things were traceable to Itsekiris communities during the days of Governor Udwaga, where the result of the 3 Warri local government determines who become the governor. In the 2019 election, the voting strength, the people that came out on that day by INEC result was 150,000. Meanwhile, the population, National Population Commission, 116,000 plus, and registered voters 145,000. It was clearly a fraud. When Beavers came, Warri North that gave 150,000 gave only 10,000 votes. And INEC said, go and repeat the matter. And because of that, INEC said, look, we are going to use a new criteria because if we use this voters register in this word, it means that we have disobeyed what the Supreme Court said we should do. Yeah. And INEC gathered the 3 tribes together and said, bring your people who will defend your interests. The Urhobos brought Chief Westham Hadeho, brought Chief Victor Ukubagba, then the Ijaws, let me call their name here, so that they were all represented. Sorry, just... Are
you satisfied with the proposition of INEC?
Yes. They went, they came. The Ijaws were represented by Dembo Dembofa Owedokbo, Joel Bissina, and Dr. Paul Bebenimo. The Itsekiris brought Honorable Toju Igomie Yeta, Honorable Andrew Magbemi Igba, and Itsekiris Power Orishagubemi. Now, INEC said they are going to use existing population and geographical that is, the lands are joined together, and the ethnic similarity. Before, Urhobo area, Agbasa, with a very large population, will be joined to Pesu Ward, the Itsekiris population, and then they will call it Pesu Ward. And by the time INEC finished the whole thing, the Itsekiris were left naked. They padded their population figures. They ballooned them. And when they saw the handwriting on the wall, immediately they started calling for rancor. The Olu was the first person who said, please, please, henceforth, he made a royal declaration. Start going to your villages. Any chief who does not have a house in the village will not be given chieftaincy title. Start burying your dead in your villages because they were not found. But that was not enough. They rushed to courts, to different courts. They went to Federal High Court, Warri, they dismissed the case. They went to Federal High Court, Benin, they dismissed the case. They went to Federal High Court, Asaba, they dismissed the case. Then they went to Federal High Court, Abuja, they dismissed the case. So they sat that. Now, when a Federal High Court dismisses your case, the next thing for you to do is to appeal. But they don't appeal. They will run to another Federal High Court. They just want to get an interim injunction restraining INEC from implementing the process. So they sat down and they came out with a master stroke. They looked for lawyers with good pedigree and they sought the service of Wole Oladimeku-san, Aki Olujumi-san. These are men in their own right, a legal colossus in this country. And they took them. And these men went and secured an injunction for them at the Federal High Court, Abuja. And INEC said, the Federal High Court said, don't complete the process until we hear from the parties in the case. Yeah. But immediately INEC replied. Wole Oladimeku said, my lord, my client didn't tell me this thing before. They didn't tell me this story. Like if INEC comes here now.
He said that in court?
Yes. Wole Oladimeku, I'm here, he's a senior lawyer, I cannot blackmail him. File a notice of discontinuance and I cannot continue with the case again. Aki Olujumi said, file a notice, the case is that bad that you want us to disobey an order of the Supreme Court? Please, we cannot. Our client didn't tell us the story like this. Aki Olujumi declined. Then they ran to me, Damian Dodo, another senior advocate of Nigeria. Damian Dodo came to court. When he saw the response...
So where do things stand as at today?
Let me, so that you get it. So what I'm trying to say is this. Good or bad, your lawyer was supposed to defend you. But if your lawyer, the caliber of Wole Oladimeku, Aki Olujumi, and Dodo said, no, we cannot defend you. This case is dead on arrival. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to take the advice of your lawyer. They now went to meet Chief Representative Rio. So you are here now. If Ali Okujimi, Olanibeku, and Dodo Sima said, please, this your case is not good, then Ramso Rio will now say, will come and fight that case for you. And they went. And then he just said that you cannot set up this Federal High Court against the Supreme Court. INEC, go ahead and do whatever you're doing. They dismiss the case. Now, what is even the case of the Itsekiris? In the 2002 delineation, they claimed that they were shortchanged from that 8 to 2 ward. They went to court. So they went to court that INEC...
You don't think they were shortchanged from 8 to 2?
No. The INEC was even magnanimous. Itsekiris don't stay in their villages. They want to claim Warri Township for themselves. The Itsekiris of Warri don't stay in Sapele. That's where they go to court. So how would they... See, what I was thinking, that the Itsekiris would come here to say, look, INEC did not obey the guideline that they gave us. That they didn't visit our village. They didn't... and the people who signed it should have been their 3 contact men. But they are not saying that. They are saying that INEC should go back to use the previous voters register that the Supreme Court has declared to be anathema. How can we continue with a fraudulent voters register and fraudulent word? Okay, now, why have they not gone to court? Why are they going all over the media houses trying to blackmail...
They may still go.
For what the Federal High Court has ruled against them and dismissed the case? No, you cannot stampede the process.
Or do you think it's fair what you know the proposition from INEC as it stands?
Good. INEC used the guideline. You can have a copy. Then their own lawyers advise them. If they come, you see, ask them, why did your lawyers, Wole Olanibeku, said they will not handle your case again? Why would they do that? Then let them come out with a story. Now, they are not claiming sentiments of ownership that as owners, they deserve of the land.
Yes.
They deserve to have more word. But good. Are Urhobos owners of their land in Warri? The Olu of Warri does not rule over Agbasa. He does not rule over Urhobos. He does not rule over Ejiro. See, let me tell you one thing. Land in this country, public land, is vested in the state governor. The state governor can even revoke the seal of the Olu Palace. And Olu have been banished from Warri before to Ogbete village. But that's not the case.
Be careful what you say.
Let me tell you something. Private land, let me tell you. If you want to buy land in Igbudu, you meet the AC family, the Bazunu family, and the Dabeshewe family. They are Urhobos. If you want to buy land in Agbasa, you meet the Omoine family, you meet the Obioma family, and then you meet the Igbi family, who is the present king. If you want to buy land in Urhobos, Okubaba family, Olodi, Igobado, Itifo, and Omakro. The other day, this woman, Ogbebo Sarah, said her great-grandfather founded Odio in 1473. How could her great-grandfather found the land in 1473? Did the man live up to 300 years old? And that was how they lost the Supreme Court case. Now look, 1473, there's a lacuna of 300 years. Your genealogy is not... She will be buried in Ajigba, not in Warri Township. The Olu will be buried in Ijana. The second in command will be buried in Ajorugu. The third in command will be buried in Urhobos, Edo State. So where do they have land? In Warri Township.
That's the big question. But now the thing is, the Itsekiris are highly aggrieved, obviously. And clearly, so are you. So are you. Hold on, relax. So are you. Right? They claim INEC has been biased against them, having failed to obey about 23 years old judgment when the appeal court directed INEC to give them the 10-word structure in Warri South. Yes, INEC failed to implement it for them. What's your response to this?
Good. When you have a court judgment, you look at the subject matter of that court judgment. When the Ijaws went to court, they said, we have a population in Warri South. We were denied. We have more population in Warri North and Warri Southwest. When the Itsekiris went to court, their argument in court was not that we have more population and we're shortchanged. They said INEC did not wait for 10 years before INEC did the process. And of course, the judgment came out 16 years later. The judgment became stale and academic. In those days, there was a secondary girl that passed common entrance exam from my state. But the Unity School did not take her. Yeah, they took somebody from Zamfara State who scored 80 and she scored 400 and something. She went and she fought the case to the Supreme Court. The judgment came out 8 years later. She was already in the university. The judgment is academic. That is why they cannot, if INEC refuse to obey 22-year-old judgment, go to court, fight contempt proceedings against INEC. And that was what Okon Abba tell them. Don't come here to say I should implement judgment. Go and fight contempt proceedings against INEC. Let me send them to prison. But they won't do that.
All right.
I think that is the best place to land. Go and fight. And
contempt proceedings against INEC.
That's it. They
but
should go and
they've
fight.
done before.
You know what? I have to say,
are cousins.
thank you.
We are cousins.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is why we are saying we should live together peacefully.
Exactly.
Based on equity and justice. Look, if you feel that the population is small, if you feel that the population is small, you negotiate.
Yeah.
Will the Urhobos feel such change too? Even in this one, but we have negotiated with the Ijaws.
You have negotiated,
yeah,
and I think that's the most important.
Our difference.
That's the most important thing. That's the most
Thank you.
important thing. Like what you said, you have negotiated with the Ijaws. There must be a conversation here, and that's the only way we can have a way forward in this. I have to thank you so much for being here. It's now time for us to take a short break on the morning show. One word.
Listen to me again, Itsekiris. You are not being deprived. If privileges that rightly belong to others but have been enjoyed by you hitherto are given to the rightful owners, it is called restitution.
All right.
More will come.
More will come.